Hey guys, I'm the Burke and I do things, and today is going to be my inventory update for, it's kind of the quarter four end of the year update. I'm just bringing it to you at the beginning of January. Honestly, once like Vlogmas ends, which I usually end around Christmas Eve, I don't have much time between Christmas, New Year's, Phoebe's birthday to do much. So I haven't even filmed a video since before Christmas. This is my first time filming actually in my office since November. So I'm a little rusty. Basically in today's video, we're gonna go over the last quarter's inventory, any increases or decreases in each category of my makeup, and where my collection is sitting at this point. Now, typically in my inventory videos, I end it with a makeup roulette. However, for this quarter, I'm going to end it with my end of the year totals compared to the end of 2021. So we'll see how much my makeup inventory increased or decreased from last year. And then in a separate video, I will do a makeup roulette so I can get one in this quarter. So stay tuned for that one. Other than that, I'll just go through my spreadsheet in front of me. I would love to have photos of everything. We're just not in that state of life right now. My office is a disaster. It looks like a tornado ran through it. I think my makeup is pulled all over the place from different videos I was filming from Vlogmas. So like, once I get this area cleaned and reorganized, I could maybe start including like overhead photos of my collection, but we're not there yet. So if you guys are interested in hearing about my fourth quarter inventory and where we're standing compared to the end of 2021, then keep on watching. Let's go. So if you recall, mid-2022, I did do a very large and thorough full collection declutter series. It took me about 3 months to go through every single drawer of my Alex drawers over here. So I definitely got rid of a lot over this past year, but that was in quarter three. So let's kind of see how I rebounded in quarter four last year. So the first category in my spreadsheet is bronzers, and I finished up 2 bronzers in October. If you haven't caught my end of the year makeup empties, I'll link that up here. So I currently have 17 bronzers in my collection. For blushes, I finished 1 in October and currently have 39 in my collection. For highlighters, I got 1 new highlighter in October and currently have 15 in my collection. For face palettes, I had no change in the last quarter, so I still currently have 19. For eyeshadow palettes, I got 1 new one in December, so I currently have 34 eyeshadow palettes. The next category I have is called every eyeshadow, so that includes my palette and my single shadows. So in last quarter, I increased my single shadow collection by 9, bringing me to 382 shadows in my collection. For foundations, I had no change last quarter, so I still have 31. For eye primers and lash glues, I had no change last quarter, so I still have 2 in my collection. For concealers, I finished 3 in October, got 1 new one in December, and also finished another 2 in December. Again, check that empties video. I currently have 11 concealers in my inventory. For setting sprays, I finished 1 in October, so I currently have 22. For brow products, I got 1 new one in November and 1 new one in December, and I currently have 16. For eyeliners, I got 1 new one in October and currently have 12 eyeliners. For face powders, I finished 1 in October and 1 in November and currently have 14. For primers, I finished 1 in October and 1 in November and currently have 21. For lipsticks, I had no change last quarter, so I currently have 30. Liquid lipsticks, no change last quarter, currently have 23. Lip glosses, no change last quarter, currently have 33. Lip liners, got 1 new one in November, currently have 11. The last category I have is mascara. I got 1 new one in October and 2 new ones in December. Currently have 22 in my inventory. I will say that includes like mini like sample sizes, and the majority of those aren't open yet. They're just sitting in this drawer right here. Do not have 22 mascaras open. So I feel like we bulldozed through that pretty quickly since I didn't have to do my roulette drawing. So we can kind of go through the end of the year totals. So for bronzers, I started the year with 41, ended the year with 17. So I decreased in bronzers by 24 bronzers. Like I said, I did a very, way overdue declutter this year. For blushes, I started the year with 69 and I currently have 39. So I decreased by 30 blushes. In highlighters, I started the year with 39 and I now have 15. So I decreased by 24. For face palettes, I started the year with 46 and I ended the year with 19, so I decreased by 27. For eyeshadow palettes, I started the year with 62 palettes and ended the year with 34 palettes. So I went down by 28 palettes. For like single, individual, every pan in my collection, I started the year with 791 palettes, ended the year with 382 palettes. So I went down by 409, not palettes, pans, little pans, 409 pans I went down by. Eye primers and lash glues, I kind of keep that all together. I started the year with 11 and ended the year with 2, so I went down by 9 products. For foundations, I started the year with 67 and I ended the year with 31, so I went down by 36 foundations. Concealers, I started the year with 32 and I ended with 11 concealers, so I went down by 21. That was my largest, like, fully used up product collection portion section of my empties video. For setting sprays, I started the year with 32 and I ended the year with 22, so I went down by 10. For brow products, I started the year at 52 brow products. I ended it with 16 and I went down by 36. For eyeliners, I started the year with 51 and I ended with 12, so I went down by 39. For face powders, I started the year with 32 and I ended with 14, so I've gone down by 18. For primers, I started the year with 41 and I now have 21, so I went down by 20 products. Lipsticks, I started with 76 and I ended the year with 30, so I went down by 46 products. Liquid lipsticks, I started at 85 liquid lipsticks and ended with 23, so I went down by 62 liquid lipsticks. Lip glosses, I started with 90 and I ended the year with 33, so I went down by 57. Lip liners, I started the year at 30 and I ended with 11, so I went down by 19. And mascara, I started at 29 and I ended at 22, so I went down by 7. So I will say, I'm fairly certain in my makeup empties of the year, I finished up 59 products organically. So of this change, about 59 of the products were naturally used up and not just decluttered or given to someone else. So in this declutter, the category I was the most successful at removing out of my collection were single eyeshadows. I went down by 409. However, that kind of incorporates palettes, so if you take that category out, the category that I was the most successful at decreasing by this year was liquid lipsticks, when I did go down by 62, which is very similar. In 2020, liquid lipsticks was my most successful category as well that year. The category I decreased by the least was mascara, by only going down by 7. However, that makes sense because I didn't really declutter a lot of mascaras in my declutter. Maybe like 1 or 2. Most of them were just like ones I organically used up this year. So if you count the individual pans in my total of how many products I used up this year, the total is 922. However, I feel like that's a bit swayed because it includes every single pan and not palettes. So if I take that 409 out of the total this year, I decreased my inventory of makeup by 513 products, which I feel like is a lot. The total amount of products individually I have right now is 372. So I definitely decreased my entire inventory by over half. So that feels really good. I feel like I'm actually reaching for makeup now. Before, I was too overwhelmed to even open my drawers because they were overflowing. So I'm very happy with these numbers. It will be very interesting to see how this 2023 going into 2024 kind of shifts my collection, since I did do such a deep dive declutter, triple D, this past year. It'll be interesting to see where I increased versus where I decreased, since this year everything was a decrease. You'll have to let me know, how is your collection looking right now? Are you comfortable with your collection? Are you wanting to make changes in your collection? Are you wanting to get new? Are you wanting to shop your stash? I feel like I'm very in limbo. I didn't get a lot last year. There's definitely some things that interest me. I'm planning for February to make a Sephora order, and there's some things that I definitely want, and then there's some things that I can't decide whether or not I want, and similar with a couple drugstore things. So let me know how you guys are feeling about collections, consumption, all that stuff down in the comments, and stay tuned for the makeup roulette. I'm not skipping it this quarter. I'm just going to do it separately. And yeah, that is it for this video. As usual, thanks for stopping by my channel. If you're new here, click the subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I have my Instagram down below. Give it a follow, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.